Okay, guys, listen up. We just got hit with the coldest, hardest truth of the NFL season. We're 5-3, sitting right on the wild card bubble, and frankly, I'm stressed out. You look at the standings, and everything you think you know about the AFC race is about to get flipped upside down. We've got the Chiefs and the Bills breathing down our neck, fighting for the same exact piece of pie, and this whole situation is on fire. Everybody's talking about the math, about who gets in, but nobody is breaking down the real raw schedule like we are about to. We are talking about absolute killer stretches, season-defining matchups, and why the Chargers winning that first game against the Chiefs is the most important season-saving thing this franchise has done all year. We've got to rip into this whole situation right now because the path to the playoffs is a total minefield. We're going to prove with pure, unadulterated math why our chances are for real. But before we get into the deep dive, you know the drill. Come on, hit that subscribe button right now. Help us build this thing. Drop a like so this content screams out to more of the Bolt fam. We are only growing because of you guys, and the bigger this family gets, the louder we yell. All right, now let's get to the analysis. So right now, we're sitting at the 6th seed after Week 8. 9 games left for the Chargers with 1 bye week. That's a wild card spot. But you look one slot up and you see the Broncos at 6-2 leading our division, and one slot down is the 5-3 Chiefs. And right above us, the Bills are 5-2, which means they have an extra game left on the schedule, an extra chance to rack up a win, and that's complicating the hell out of this whole picture. First off, forget the easy path. We're talking about 3 wildcard spots in the AFC, and we are fighting tooth and nail with the Chiefs and the Bills for every single one of them. We're all sitting around 5 wins, right? But here is the one piece of genius that is keeping my brain from completely melting down. The tiebreakers. The Chargers already own the Chiefs because we beat them back in Week 1. That's massive. If we end the season with the same record as Kansas City, we essentially get the nod because of that head-to-head win. You hear me? That first game, that one victory is essentially worth 2 points in the final playoff standings. And then there's the conference record. Our 4-1 conference record is elite. It's better than the Bills 3-1 and way better than the Chiefs 2-2. When you get into these brutal 3-way ties, the conference record is the tiebreaker that saves your butt. So we are positioned better than anyone outside the top 5, but that position is paper thin. We need a minimum of 10 wins to even think about it. But to feel safe, to punch that ticket, we have to hit 11 wins. Now let's find those wins. We've got 9 games left. We need to find at least 6 wins to get to that safe harbor of 11-6. I've broken the rest of the season down into 3 categories, starting with the games we must win. If we lose any of these, honestly, you can turn the lights out. Week 9 is at the Tennessee Titans, 1-7. I mean, come on, the Titans team is a complete mess. It's an easy travel spot, a chance to get to 6-3, and a pure, unadulterated predicted win. Week 13 is against the Las Vegas Raiders, 2-5. A division rival, but they are a dumpster fire right now. We are at home, we handle business, and we mark that as a predicted win. And then there's Week 17 versus the Houston Texans. This is a game you must win at home, late in the season, if you are a playoff team. They're inconsistent, we're better. So we put down another predicted win. That foundation gets us to 8-3. Now the real fun starts with the coin flip games. Week 10 is versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, 4-3. This is a tough, smash-mouth, defensive-minded team. But we're at home, and with Herbert, we have the offensive firepower to outscore any team. This is a crucial statement game. And to hit 11 wins, we have to find a way. Predicted win. Week 11 is at the Jacksonville Jaguars, 4-3. This is a brutal road game against a rising AFC squad. It is the definition of a 50-50 toss-up, but championship teams win these tough road battles. We predict a win here to keep the 11-win dream alive. Now we have to be real with ourselves. We can't predict all W because that's not how the NFL works. We have 3 certified playoff eliminator games left. Week 16 is at the Dallas Cowboys, 3-4-1. They're talented, they are desperate, and playing in that environment is absolutely hellish. We mark this down as a predicted loss. We can absorb one of these tough road losses. Week 14 is versus the Philadelphia Eagles, 6-2. They're an NFC elite team, and this is a true litmus test. They dominate the trenches. It's a loss we can accept, so we predict a loss. This brings us to the biggest game of the season outside of the playoffs. Week 15 is at the Kansas City Chiefs, 5-3. This is a revenge game for them, a complete nightmare spot for us at Arrowhead. We are going to be realistic and mark this down as a predicted loss, which splits the series 1-1. But hold up, there is one more game that changes everything. Week 18 at the Denver Broncos, 6-2. The final game of the season, and it could be for a guaranteed playoff spot or even the division title. We split the series 1-1 already. This is the coin flip, but with everything on the line, We lean into desperation and the passion of the season's finale. Predicted win. The Chargers' projected final record is 11-6. That is an unbelievably strong record that puts us firmly in the playoffs. Now let's see why the Chiefs are going to fall short and why the Bills are the safest bet. First, let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. They are also 5-3, but look at their remaining 9 games. I'm telling you, Boat fam, this schedule is a certified, absolute, fire-breathing nightmare. They have to play 3 of the current top 7 teams in the AFC within a month. Their absolute killer stretch starts right now. Week 9 is at the Buffalo Bills, 5-2. This game determines the wild card race. If the Bills win, the Chiefs are 2 games behind in the loss column, and they get a huge tiebreaker. We predict the loss for the Chiefs here. Week 11 is at the Denver Broncos, 6-2, a road game against the division leader. This is a likely loss. Week 12 is versus the Indianapolis Colts, 7-1, hosting the top team in the entire AFC, another absolutely brutal loss. If this happens, the Chiefs are 5-6 after Week 12. They are already playing from a massive hole, and the rest of the schedule doesn't get much easier, but they will fight back. Their predictable wins come against Week 13 at the Dallas Cowboys, 3-4-1, Week 14 versus the Houston Texans, 3-4, Week 16 at the Tennessee Titans, 1-7, and Week 18 at the Las Vegas Raiders, 2-5. That's 4 necessary wins. Now, the 2 biggest games left for them, Week 15 versus the Los Angeles Chargers, 5-3, which is their Super Bowl, and we predicted a Chiefs win to split the series. And Week 17 versus the Denver Broncos, 6-2, a huge home game against the division leader, which we predict they will win to split that series as well. The Chiefs' projected final record is also 11-6. Wait a minute, both teams finish 11-6. Who gets in? The Chargers. This is the genius of that Week 1 victory. Since we split the season series 1-1, the tiebreaker moves to the next level. Division record, which will be tight, but most importantly, conference record. The Chargers have a strong advantage in that category, and that is what punches our ticket and leaves the Chiefs on the outside looking in. They are in real, serious danger. Their brutal November schedule is their entire undoing. Now let's talk about the Buffalo Bills, the 3rd team in this brutal wildcard triangle. They're the highest-seeded wildcard team at 5-2 with 10 games left, giving them an extra game to work with. Their path is slightly easier, and it starts with a crucial win in Week 9 versus the Kansas City Chiefs. This immediately distances them from the Chiefs. They should get easy predicted wins against Week 10 at the Miami Dolphins, Week 11 versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Week 12 at the Houston Texans, Week 14 versus the Cincinnati Bengals, Week 16 at the Cleveland Browns, and Week 18 versus the New York Jets. That's 7 predicted wins. But even the Bills have killer games. Their predicted losses come in Week 13 at the Pittsburgh Steelers, a physical road loss, Week 15 at the New England Patriots, a tough division road loss, and Week 17 versus the Philadelphia Eagles, another brutal NFC loss.
The Bills' projected final record is 12-5, making them the safest bet for the 5th seed and comfortably securing their spot. So, after running the numbers and predicting the outcome of 28 separate games, and you better believe this is professional analysis, not guesswork, here is the predicted AFC Wild Card race finish. Buffalo Bills at 12-5, Los Angeles Chargers at 11-6, and Kansas City Chiefs at 11-6. The final verdict is absolutely clear. The Chargers can and should qualify for the 2025 playoffs. Our fate, Boat Fam, rests entirely on one single thing: tiebreakers. By winning that Week 1 matchup against the Chiefs, the Chargers bought themselves the single most important piece of leverage in the entire AFC. The chances are for real. This is our moment. The Chargers are ready to make some noise.